Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Kpop.FLEX vlog. You'll join me in my apartment. It's the 14th of May right now, and I still look like shit because I woke up like 20 minutes ago. But today is finally the day of Kpop.FLEX. I still cannot believe that I'm going to be seeing I-DLE live literally in about 10 hours or so. It's something. But yeah, follow me along on this little vlog that I'm doing. I don't know how much talking I will do because I will see how comfortable I am with filming myself in public. But it's gonna be fun, and I'm trying to catch some of the impressions for you guys. So join me. I'm about to go in the car and then in the train, and then I'm going to Frankfurt. So yeah, come along. Okay, so I arrived at the first stop. My first connecting train that I need to take to get to Frankfurt. And there is already somewhat of a delay announced for my eventual train that I'll be taking from Hamburg to Frankfurt. I just hope it's not too late because I'm already running on a tight schedule. It's gonna be fun. Hello, you rejoin me as I am in Hamburg whilst absolute train trouble, chaos broke loose. The train that we were supposed to take from main station was cancelled from that station, so we had to drive through Hamburg to the south to find another station. And yeah, now I'm making my way back. The train is also delayed by 30 minutes, but everything looks good now. So on the way to Frankfurt it is.
So yeah, from here on out I started basically vlogging less and just filming some scenery stuff, and then obviously the festival itself, which will make up a huge portion of this entire video, as you will see or might expect if you look down below in the bar. But yeah, basically what kind of happened after we got our train in time, everything went well. We arrived safely in Frankfurt, then had to walk almost 30 minutes to our hotel. Me and Sarah, that is. Sarah came with me from Hamburg to meet up the others, which I'll introduce in a bit. But yeah, big shout outs if you're watching this, Sarah. It was a great experience sharing that weekend with you and the others. But yeah, we basically arrived at the hotel, quickly got dressed, and then walked all the way back. Which we didn't actually. I forgot, because we took a taxi because we were on a tight schedule. Once we arrived at the hotel, it was basically almost the time of the early entrance because we had those early entrance tickets for the entire show. So we then took a cab with one of the coolest taxi drivers ever. He took some detours to get us to where we were able to go, because there was a huge car jam in front of the arena and the whole area around, because everyone wanted to go there. So that is why we took a taxi, and it took us a little bit longer, and he took some detours and got us in. So we made it almost in time, and then yeah, basically met up with Ray, Luca, Hannah, Kisei, and who am I forgetting? Yeah, that's everyone. My memory is really bad and I do not want to forget everyone. Guys, if you're watching this, it was a great experience meeting you all for the first time after talking to you for some of you like over 2 years. Anyway, we met up with them, we got in through entrance, super easy. Then it was a little bit chaotic to find where we were supposed to go, but once we entered that open soccer field in the beginning and saw the arena, it was so damn good. I loved just coming there, seeing that. The anticipation of the event was everything. We were all really hyped for that. And then we kind of struggled to figure out where we were supposed to go, because it wasn't clearly marked on where our entrance for the front of stage was. Luckily Kisei knew that we were supposed to go to like Stadium Tunnel 1, which we could find. And then there was already like a huge amount of people gathered at that entry, which was probably not the best organized. That is another thing of this whole thing that I'll basically talk about short times after, because I want to make this about the eventual experience and not the whole mismanaging and misorganization stuff that was going on. But I think it has to be talked about at least a little. Anyway, we got there. Luckily, some nice lady gave us our wristbands that we needed to get up to front of stage quickly through the fence, actually, which was really lucky. Then we got in, and then we entered the stadium, and oh my god, we couldn't believe it once we were in. I'll underline everything with clips here. We came in, we saw the amount of people that were already there. The first thing in my head was, I was seeing people when we entered, and was like, oh my god, is that like the front of stage? And we have to go behind that. Oh my god, there's so many people here. And we turned the corner and we saw, oh my god, no, those are the people behind us. We are actually still in front of them, and there was a lot of space left because the front of stage entrance was, I think, just that basically started half an hour ago. And we got, on the first day, we got some insane spots. Day 2, stay tuned for that. These were even greater, but day 1 was already super close to the stage. I was like, we are talking basically like 20 meters to the first row or something like that, and then behind that there was basically 2 meters, and then there was the stage. So we were really close. But then came the waiting game, because obviously I think we entered at like 4 p.m. and at 4 p.m. and I think the pre-show started at 6. So we had to wait 2 more hours there. Yeah, but hey, we got that done. We sat down a little bit, but then the pre-show started, which was weird. The pre-show was highs and lows, and all in all, though, it was pretty funny. I kind of liked it. It was something. First of all, they introduced with a little video. The pre-show will start soon, blah blah blah, and then a lady came on stage holding a speech, which was, and she was, I guess, trying to like talk up Busan or advertise something with an expo in Busan, and everyone was just cheering. She knows she had to get that woo in there from here and there. We all wooed along with it, and so it was fun. But then there was a dance team coming in. Let me actually parallel quickly check the name of that dance team, because I also followed them on Instagram, and I will put their links and everything on the screen. They were amazing, honestly. Let me quickly find that if I can. Okay, so they were called Shep Gang. They're already pretty big on TikTok. They have a couple of clips there with like plus 80 million views, and they crushed it. Oh my god, they nailed it. I'll insert some clips of their performance. They made it kind of Squid Game themed towards the beginning, wearing masks and overalls and everything. And then later, when they walked to the center stage that the stadium had, they did some crazy stuff to some really cool songs. I think the most standout thing was Mic Drop that they did, because obviously at the K-pop festival, if you perform a K-pop song that is this famous as Mic Drop, the crowd will erupt, basically. And one of the members did this insane backflip. Oh my god, I thought she was flying off the stage. Anyway, they were insane. If you want to check out some cool dance stuff, check them out on TikTok. They were literally insane. But then I think what we had left was another dance crew from Korea. That was also really fun. The guy who was seeing this whole thing was super funny. I do not have too many clips of that, so we're gonna just notice that. Then there was a Hanbok fashion show. These dresses were really pretty, but it was kind of long for what it was, because I think we spent like a whole 20 minutes of just them walking the catwalk. But they were looking insane, so that's that. Then there was another cute, like, guy from Korea, I don't know, some kind of politician, somewhere along these lines. He was really cute. He spoke some broken English to the crowd, but it was really funny. And then there was probably more. Then there was a half-hour break when there was nothing. I think from the concert, how the concert was structured with like pre-show and then the eventual show, this was probably the worst thing, because at the beginning, before the pre-show, they were showing MVs on screen, and it was already so loud. Just from them showing the MVs from the groups that were performing at those days on the screen, the crowd was already loud. Like when Enhypen showed up, and a lot of people on the first day, especially because they were only on the first day, were excited for Enhypen. So when they played Blessed Curse on the screen, like the crowd was already pissed out. It was feisty. So it was that. But then this half hour that they did, it was pretty silent. There was nothing. There was nothing on the screens. It was just a guy every 10 minutes saying, the concert will start in 20 minutes. The concert will start in 10 minutes. The concert will start in 5 minutes. The concert will start momentarily. That was this half an hour. That was, but then it was finally time. Oh my lord. It was finally time. The entrance was pretty nice. They had this cool clip where I think her name was Huyeon, right? I struggle with her name sometimes, but the actress everyone loves out of Squid Game, Sabyok, the actress from Sabyok. They got her to narrate the intro for the show, basically, and they showed some clips of the group and everything, and everyone was already getting hyped. And then towards the end, you know, they were building it up, and they also played this honestly really funny like rule. These are the rules of the concert video, with like safety, do not push people around and stuff like that. And they used MV clips for that as well. They were pretty well fitting, actually. That was like, damn. And then the concert began and the groups. The first group that entered the stage on day one was Enhypen. And as I told you guys before, many engines were there, so it got loud. The most clips that I have like a noise filter from the iPhone on there, but I'll show later how loud it is in comparison to some other clips that I got from Kisei. So yeah, so basically Enhypen.
Meet the best artist to build Frankfurt's night of spectacular. Worldwide crush performance group, Enhypen.
So that was pretty crazy. And then after that, second most anticipated group on that day, specifically by a big part of the audience, very visible through all the light sticks that were there, was NCT Dream, who then followed after Enhypen.
Peak of irresistible charms, NCT Dream.
After NCT Dream's entry, it was finally time for probably my most memorable moment of this entire festival. It was the first entry of I-DLE. when that announcer said, and you'll hear it in the clip after, no introduction needed, I think he said, just me, I-DLE, and then Tomboy started playing, my tears immediately started to cry. Like, the tears started to come out. I instantly started crying, and it got worse when I actually then saw them coming out and waving to the crowd. And I've been following I-DLE since 2018. They quickly became my favorite group in K-pop and are to this day. Oogie is still my ultimate bias in all of K-pop, and then she was there. She was just there. I could see her. She was real. She was real. Just look for yourself.
No need for an explanation. Just me, I-DLE.
So yeah, and in midst of my emotional struggle to keep myself together from disbelief to crying to oh my god they're actually there to oh my god they did not come to the side we were standing on, which I was a little bummed out about, the announcer announced Mamamoo, and it got loud again. Oh my lord.
Charisma on stage. Girl crush. Mamamoo.
So yeah, also excuse me for in that clip zooming on I-DLE because I couldn't believe it. Even though Mamamoo was just entering, I was like, are they there? I need to get a closer look. Are they real? But yeah, after Mamamoo, they were followed by AB6, a group that I think knew the least about out of all the lineup. So I also did not film too much of them, to be honest. They sounded nice. I was kind of bummed out. I heard one song of them that was called Absolute. I love that song. That song was nice, but they didn't get to perform it. That would have been fire. So yeah, they entered right after Mamamoo.
Under Steel, AB6.
And then the only soloist of the entire concert entered the stadium. And oh my god, like, we all know Kai is handsome as can be, but seeing this dude live, he's almost even more handsome than he appears on screen. Like, how's that even fair? How is that even fair? How is this guy so attractive?
EXO, Super and Perfect Solo.
Yeah, and then for the first day, there was only one artist to be left revealed, and that was IVE. They were opening up the show actually, so they did not come through the these like side thingies. They were actually already behind us, and we did not notice because obviously everyone in the front of stage section was just looking at front because Mamamoo was standing right in front of me, so my focus was somewhere else, and I was like, okay, is IVE gonna come out there as well? But no, they were already behind us, and you'll notice at the end, I'm just saying, what the fuck? Because I was like, oh my god, IVE are already behind us.
Last but not least, opening up the hottest night at Kpop.FLEX, Super Rookie seizing the world's attention.
from here on out, I'm just gonna basically go through all of the groups a little, because if I were to narrate all the days, like how I did it now, I just wanted to give you basically, because day one was the most exciting one for me, because it was like, oh my god, it's Kpop.FLEX, it's happening. But if I were to narrate all of this in that fashion, we would sit here forever. So we basically just go through all the groups, and since I've opened up day one, we're gonna go start with IVE. And yeah, on the first day, they started at the stage, as you could see behind us, and performed Love Dive right then and there. Oh my god, Love Dive Live had some incredible energy, even though they were like far behind us. Like, they were killing it. We were a little bit bummed out because we wanted to see that dance break, that Love Dive dance break. We wanted to see that in front of us. But little did we know, day two, and this is where you're also gonna see how close we got on day two. They were changing, at least IVE, because they didn't start out. They started their performance on the front stage that we were in front. And why did we get close? Because second day actually had a lot of better organizing, and they had a system for how they let front of stage people with early entrance and no early entrance, how they separated these groups at different places, and then just let them roll through basically into the stadium. And that led to us being able to witness Love Dive like this. So yeah, and if that wasn't enough, here's also a clip from day one where they performed Royal at the front stage, because they then moved back after doing a Love Dive and introducing themselves. They continued with Love Dive, no, not with Love Dive, with Royal. And that was also the first time where it was basically confirmed they're gonna do the Royal stage, because obviously it wasn't safe. These artists didn't get a lot of time. I think the max amount of songs these groups were performing were like 4 songs, and IVE did 3 times each, and it was always Love Dive, Royal, and 11. So yeah, look for yourself, day one. And just immediately after that performance, like, I wasn't yet sure on an IVE bias. After that performance on day one, I knew it was Wonyoung. Wonyoung live. She is different. First of all, her performance stood out to me. Like, my eyes were glued onto her while watching them perform. And also, I haven't watched too many videos in terms of variety for IZ*ONE and IVE. But Wonyoung speak in English is the most expensive thing I heard. Just listen for yourself.
Literally, this was my first time in Frankfurt,
Yeah, and because they were talking like that, because I think Liz and Issa, I think, had issues with their mics where they couldn't pick up what they were saying, so they had to go quickly to the side. And yeah, I think Eugene, Carl, Ray, and Wonyoung were left to stand there and kind of like just entertain the crowd, and they did such a good job. They were improvising, saying stuff like you just saw. Wonyoung throwing out some fan service as well in the next clip, so that was really fun.
Thank you for you guys.
And yeah, and then as I said, they also performed 11, their debut song, and with everyone knowing that song well in the stadium, like everyone sang along when they could, and they just killed it. It was so much fun, honestly. To come to a closing for IVE were really good. Gotta say, I'm not super 100% familiar with all of the members, but I think it's Iso who's like 15, performing in front of a crowd of at least 40,000 people. There were a lot more people actually on the first day than on the second day. You'll notice in some of the clips. They did so well, honestly. They performed nice. They had some good fan interactions, especially Wonyoung and Yujin. I mean, they are much more experienced than the other members, but the other members as well. They were just adorable. Also, before I forget, those were clips from day 2, from the entrance. They did this entrance thing again, also on day 2, and with IVE coming out from there, well, because they were not starting, and we were this close, they stood like 10 meters away from me, and my goodness, Wonyoung was just greeting everyone, throwing hearts out everywhere. Yujin with the bangs, they were all looking so cool. They were so chill on stage. I felt like, especially on day 2, they got much more used to the stage, and they were just natural. So I'm just gonna throw this clip here and highlight of how close we were actually to them during the entrance.
Girls with colorful charms. AB6.
So yeah, the next group we're gonna get to, because they only performed on Saturday and they followed up IVE, it was Enhypen, and a lot of people there were mainly there for Enhypen. You saw a lot of Enhypen light sticks, a lot of banners and signs that people were holding up. So it got loud when they entered the stage. Everyone had so much anticipation for this group and lost their absolute marbles when they then came out. I think you got a good feel for it during that entrance thing, how people were like, oh my goodness. But when they actually were performing, the atmosphere was crazy. My favorite song of theirs is Drunk Dazed, and they performed that, and I just insert the clip right here. I'm not 100% sure, because there was a lot of stuff happening, what the songs were that they followed up or started out with. They might have even started out with Blessed Cursed, or followed it up. I can't recall, because at this point I'm just trying to sort my memories in some way, but Blessed Cursed just blasted up the arena. Most recent song of theirs, so everyone was pretty hyped and stoked to see them performing that live for them. killed it. Like, their dance choreo is just that freaking sharp. They're so good, let me tell you. And they also got to do, which some of the groups didn't get to do, just a handful, not even a handful, but just a select few of groups got to do variety segments. And they, I think the dude who narrated that whole thing was, I think, Jake. I think he's from Australia, if I recall correctly. So with him speaking English, he got to do a lot of that, and they then got to interact with the crowd, and that was really, really cool. The fans like that. I like that as someone who is vastly familiar with them, but really, really enjoys their music. I think I gotta check out more of Enhypen in the future, for sure. One thing that I definitely have to check out is Tamed Dash, a song that they performed and I haven't checked out here on the channel. And that song is hard. Together with Fever. Fever is also so good live. Like, Okay, I gotta check out more Enhypen songs. That's definitely really cool. And I think a fan favorite was also Polaroid Love. I've seen that song everywhere on social media. And they... during that variety segment that they did, they kind of got the crowd to sing along with them and sing Polaroid Love together. That was really, really cool moment. All in all, Enhypen, a group to look out for in the future, because they are also, like, they already have good energy live and they bring it and they love it. Like, I hope the clips that I'll insert are gonna show that. And what was also really nice that they did more on day one was they actually brought out a few select members of each group to MC into the next artist, which was really cool. It was usually like, because we had those two stages, that on the one stage the performance ended, on the other stage there was already a select few members of the group then already narrating into the next group. That was really cool. So I've got to do that a lot, Kai did that a lot, so that was really nice. And then I think, if I'm recording correctly, after Enhypen, they already, I think, might have gotten into, or at least that's what I'm going to talk about now, it's the special stages of the festival. They prepared some nice surprises, and I gotta say, kudos for whoever came up with the ideas for those special stages. My goodness. The first one that they showed was, I think, it's hard to say if it's the best. Like, they opened that whole segment up with a clip where they also got a lot of other K-pop artists to record a clip for that whole video clip series.
저에게 위로가 되었던 음악은 방탄소년단의
BTS 선배님들의
작은 것들을 위한
신데요.
제가 최근에 이드레를 준비하면서
스페셜 무대로.
And one of them was actually Stray Kids. And let me tell you, they just had to show a clip of Stray Kids talking, and the arena was probably as loud as other artists entered the stadium. It was loud. My ears were ringing just from Stray Kids being up on stage. But anyway, so they got a couple of artists right there. They got also Purple Kiss. I think they got aespa. So that was really nice seeing them kind of on Kpop.FLEX as well, even though they weren't in the lineup. And then they led into the topic of the whole Ukraine war with a little girl in a shelter singing Let It Go in Ukrainian. And then they did a live collab special stage, actually, from Solar, and I think Dewi from 86. And they sang Let It Go live, and they showed on the screens that everyone was supposed to turn their light sticks or flashes on their phones on. And let me just show you the clip. That was one of the literal highlights of this whole festival. how the whole crowd was singing along with them, all the lights shining at the night. It was magical. It was magical. And then at the end there was also some confetti. Sometimes I stopped at these because I didn't want to film everything. I also just wanted to be in the moment and experience it fully without having to hold a phone up here. So that's why sometimes I didn't catch things. So yeah, but here's a clip of how they shot up some confetti, which was all really cool. Then a special stage was following very closely that made me cry for the second time, and I think I cried even more at that. It was I-DLE. They went over to the other stage and performed Love Yourself from Justin Bieber. A song that I think I gotta say, that's probably, I don't like too many Bieber songs, but Love Yourself is a really, really good song from him. And I-DLE performing that song, and I just lost it when Oogie sang her part. I'm just gonna insert the clip. I was an emotional wreck. That was just plain beautiful. So okay, now as I mentioned, hopefully I had to record some of this stuff twice, but let's follow it up with AB6. I don't know how much I've talked about AB6 so far, but yeah, AB6 was a group that I didn't, I probably knew the least about, and also filmed not too much because especially on day one my phone was dying and I knew that I-DLE was still performing, so I had to kind of save my battery. But let me tell you, these guys are cute. These guys are freaking handsome. They had one rapper in particular that stood out to me. This guy had a straight face the whole time. He was the definition of cool, and his raps erupted the crowd. Everyone loved their raps. Then I hope it was Terry, the guy who performed with Solar Let It Go. He has an incredible voice. And I think it was also the guy who could talk English really well. So they were really natural. Especially on day 2, they got to do a little, basically no, there was another group. They got to do a variety segment as well, where they were doing like learn how to dance choreographies with AB6, and they show some famous songs like they did Do 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 by Blackpink, they did Permission to Dance by BTS, and then they were just explaining how to do these dances to the crowd, and then we were like, okay, and then all do it together. That was really fun, and they did very well at that. I checked up on a song called Absolute from them, which is right up my alley, and I think I'm soonish gonna do a reaction to that because that song slapped. They sadly didn't perform that live, but a song that I very well remembered them doing was Cherry. That sounded nice. Maybe I can see if I can find a clip for that, because I didn't film too much for that, as I said. Sorry for any AB6 fans here. But let me tell you, these guys were awesome live, and I got it all up here. Like, living in the moment is what it's called for me. So that was also really nice, just having to watch them and just vibe with them, cheering them on. Obviously, like, there was a lot of people I noticed who basically just came to see one group and were losing their marbles about that group, and then right after that group performed, they were also just leaving the stadium, where I was like, damn, you're here for a festival, like, and these guys are performing also for you, because you're also the audience. That was something that I kept in mind. Like, all of these people and artists, like, a lot of them, for them it was the first time performing ever, and it was their first chance to perform in front of a big audience. So I just wanted to be there, cheer them on, and just scream along with all the others, even though I wasn't too familiar with that. So I also did that with AB6 to be part of the show, I guess. But yeah, then I'm gonna get to the good bits last. I'm sorry, but we're gonna go a little bit in. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about Monsta X, Dreamcatcher, and I-DLE last. Yeah, so for now we're gonna continue with Kai. Kai was the day ender basically for both days. He was always the closing act, as you might call it, and this guy brought the heat. This guy brought some freaking heat. Like, as I mentioned in the beginning, this guy is good looking. Like, let me tell you, from having him seen up close, he's fine. He is very fine. Not only on the internet, he's fine in real life as well. And he's real, let me tell you that. He's very, very, very real. And also, especially, obviously, his famous title tracks, Peaches and which I haven't done reactions to, but I've checked out the songs, mainly due to the SM Town concerts. Oh my lord. People were crazy about that. And especially, I think was always his last song that he did on both days. So he ended the entire show with And for that performance alone, they brought out like fire blasters, I guess, in front of the stage. There were these things. Fire is hot, let me tell you guys. It got warm whenever they came out. So let me just show you some clips of how he performed. Yeah, that was definitely something for the second clip there. That was on the second day, his last performance, and I was very much in front for, I think, I don't know how many hours. I was right in front of there, where you can see, and there was a lot of people around me, and I started to feel like I need some water and I need to get away from people. So I decided to enjoy his stage in an open space where I could just sit down. I bought a drink and then just watch his performance on the big screen that was right in front of me, as you could see. That was also really nice. But on the first day, I got to see also then his song that he was performing, Vanilla. That was the duo performance he did with one of his backup dancers. Like, that was also really hot, I gotta say. These two nailed it. And Kai smiling at her was, woo, like, backup dancer, can we change? Like, even though as a pretty straight dude, I can appreciate a good dance with a hot dude. Like, let me tell you that. So that was really, really something. He also obviously performed Peaches. I got some clips of that for you to follow up. And I think, oh my god, I kind of have to check up on the name of that song. It was like Better No? No, I don't think so. Wait, let me look it up on Spotify. To Be Honest, not Better No. To Be Honest, it was called. I think he also performed that. That was also a pretty good song. All in all, like, Kai with having all the experience previously from EXO, and there were a lot of EXO fans there. Like, there were so many EXO light sticks. Oh my god. And people were decorating their light sticks so nicely. I didn't even think it was possible. Like, I've seen EXO and especially Monsta X light sticks who were decorated. It's incredibly beautiful. So I was like, damn, these people are creative. But yeah, Kai was the closing act for both days. All right, another group that only performed on day one was NCT Dream. They were, I think, the second to last act. They performed before Kai, and let me tell you, they got the coolest intro to like their entry was honestly the coolest. They got individual member spotlights where their names and faces were projected in that big square thing that was in the middle of the stage. I should have a clip of that to show you now. So that was really cool. And then they open up the stage with Hot Sauce. Like, Hot Sauce was fire. That was fire. I think Hot Sauce to this day is, even though that song is kind of weird, it's still my favorite NCT Dream title track, that is. So that was something. That was really something. Other songs that they performed, and they also got to do a variety segment. So the other songs that they performed were Hello Future, one song that I did not know, and then obviously they ended it, I think they ended it with Glitch Mode, right? So they definitely performed Glitch Mode, and I think it was the ending song. And let me tell you, Jeno, this man killed a lot of people with his performance in the dance break, or that final part in Glitch Mode. Like, you could see in the clip before that Jeno was performing in that pink jacket, and below that he was only wearing a tank top. And we know that Jeno is freaking ripped. And for that final performance, he just threw away his jacket and just gave it his all. I should have a clip of that as well. So you guys are in for a treat. That was something. like with the variety thing that they did, they were like doing a segment where it was like 3 concepts where they had to appeal to the crowd with like cute guy, tough guy, cool guy, and then we were picking select members to perform these acts. And they were really natural with it. You could very much notice that these are SM artists and they are very professional and very good at entertaining a crowd. They were really, really cool. I gotta say, NCT Dream definitely stayed in mind during that entire concert. It was really, really cool seeing them live. So then, I think that was all the acts already that performed on day 1. AB6, Enhypen, IVE, Kai. No, I forgot another one that we are basically going to talk about now, who also performed on day 1. How could I forget? Mamamoo. And let me tell you, they are known for having experience, to have energy, and being incredible performers, like all of them having a huge number of solo tracks under their belt as well now. But let me tell you, when they are live, they leave nothing up to debate. They ate, like they literally freaking ate. Especially, I gotta say, Hwasa. Hwasa was hyping up the crowd, was flirting with the crowd a lot, and her outfit was killer as well. The songs that they performed, I think they always opened it up with Aya. They then I think both times they then followed it up with Coco Pepe. They also did obviously Hip, which was so good. And then they did one switch up in what they did. On day 1 they did Mama Much, and on the second day they did what was called a fan favorite, but I did not recognize the song, so I probably did not hear it. It could have been, was it called Where Are We Now or something like that? But I did not recognize it actually. So if you guys know, definitely let me know down below. But that was definitely, during that song, they were just running around the stage and interacting with fans. I have a clip of Moonbyul coming up to the section where we were standing greeting everyone. That was really nice seeing her this close. That was definitely very rememberable. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave you with some prime examples of how good Mamamoo is live. So yeah, these were all the acts from day 1, except obviously I-DLE, but we're gonna get to I-DLE last, because I feel like I might talk about that the longest and have a lot of clips to show, so we're just gonna put that to last, so that people who are around for other groups might not be like, alright, be done talking about I-DLE now. So we're gonna get to the Sunday lineup. Sadly, one of us couldn't perform because I think one day before they were supposed to fly over to Germany, 2 of their members got COVID, so they had to cancel everything, and one of us couldn't perform on Sunday, which was sad. I would have loved to see one of us. Got to know them most during Road to Kingdom, which was a blast, and I did a couple of reactions to them. So I would have loved for like a LOONA stage, maybe lit live, that would have been literally lit. So, but yeah, groups that are basically left that have only performed on Sunday are Dreamcatcher and Monsta X. We're gonna start out with Monsta X here for a bit. Monsta X, I'm just for those Mon babies watching who've been watching my reactions as a preparation for this concert. I gotta say, I'm very happy that I did all these preparations and got you guys on board to guide me to Monsta X, and we will definitely continue that because I'm in love with these guys. Let me start out with the entrance on day 2. The entrance on day 2 was something, because obviously different groups entered on Sunday because there were different groups performing. And we had those set closer spots to the stage than on Saturday. And the first group to be announced to enter in the thingy was actually Monsta X. And they went right in front of us. So there were a lot of Mon babies at that concert, let me tell you. Especially one group that was exactly next to me had one girl that was screaming so loud. Oh my god. That girl, if they wouldn't have moved a little bit further away from me due to the crowd just shifting, I think this girl would have destroyed my left ear just with her screaming abilities. But yeah, they were standing directly in front of us. Let me just show you some clips of that.
Kpop.FLEX. Today, making your day special. Let's meet the top K-pop artists. Gold-blooded romantist, Monsta X. Five queens aiming at the ground.
And these guys are so good live. I could not help it but just cheer along so hard with them. It was crazy. These guys are, again, as with Kai and NCT Dreams, you know that these guys have experience. They were different from some of the groups that were there that didn't have all that experience yet. They knew how to work a crowd, they knew how to perform, and their energy live was so amazing. Towards the end, then they followed up. They moved over to that center stage again, which was always a bit sad for me personally because they moved further away from me and also turned the backs to me where I couldn't film them properly, which didn't stop me from filming them performing Gambler. I had to capture that. So here's that. And then I think it was right after Gambler, I'm very sure, they ended the show with Saranghanda, which was lucky that I checked out the, I don't know if it's uploaded yet, but I checked out the Shape of Love album before one day or one evening before going to Kpop.FLEX, because I wanted to get that in case that they perform any B-sides of that. And they did, and they performed Saranganda, and obviously to that song there wasn't any choreo, so they were just going around interacting with fans. And I'm gonna just claim that I know there was a lot of people in front of me and in the back of me, but I got one clip and one picture of Juan just basically pointing right into my camera, and so basically right at me, probably pointing at someone else, but I'm just gonna show you that clip. It was really nice to have that screenshot and that clip of that. But yeah, I'm gonna show you the Saranghanda performance and that little moment. Yeah, so that was definitely something. And they also performed Autobahn, which is, Autobahn is the German word for highway. Most of you probably know, but for those of you who don't know, that is that. So they got to perform Autobahn in Germany, which was kind of nice, and they narrated it obviously like that. Sadly, I didn't listen to the song yet, but it sounded really, really good. They got a cool performance for that, and it was really fun having them perform that song in Germany. That was nice. And yeah, and then basically they got to do the same variety program almost than NCT Dream did the day before, where they were like appealing to fans, and some of my highlights were actually there. One of the highlights, and sadly I did not film it because I did not film during the variety moments a lot. Maybe I can find a clip, probably, because I have a huge backlog. Thanks to Sarah again, thanks to Kisei, thanks to Ray, to a lot of people who filmed there. I have a huge backlog of just people from different perspectives filming stuff. So I might find a clip of that, where Kion actually sung Voyager, just a bit of it, not the full song, but he sang the chorus without any backing tracks. I think some of the members were actually beatboxing to it, and he sang along, and oh my god, this guy killed that. Just out of nowhere he started to sing Voyager, and it was so good. I love Voyager, and that was just so good. I loved it, if you can tell. But yeah, next really cool thing was Juan doing, I guess it's a running gag theme, and I think I've seen it in the guide. It definitely struck me as familiar, but him doing like this little goo goo gaga thing, he played with that crowd like he owned it. That was so cool. I have a clip of that entire thing, and I'm just gonna show you now.
꾹꾹 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 우리 프랑크푸르트의 모든 이 에너지를 받아서 Guys, give me your energy!
So yeah, that was that. That was just, this guy is, I know why he's becoming my bias in this group. He is just a natural. He is so cool. And also the way that he introduced them performing Gambler was really nice. And he was like, I say zero, what was it? Zero, lucky bang. Yeah, it was like, I say 0 lucky, you say bang, and then the whole crowd just said bang, and it was so loud and so cool. And then they started performing Gambler. It was amazing, let me tell you. So that was just amazing. Monsta X live was definitely one of my highlights. These guys were amazing. They were so natural, they were so cool, they were so friendly. Getting to see them basically like 10 meters away from me was a moment that I'll never forget, probably. So yeah, if I find any more clips, I'll just put them here. Otherwise, we're gonna move on to the next group. And this is actually the second to last group that I haven't talked about. And yeah, my top two favorites. Like I have like a low key list in my mind of my favorite groups, with I-DLE and LOONA being at the top, but they are pretty much closely followed by Dreamcatcher. And when they announced, I think Dreamcatcher was like the second to last to be in. My headset just turned off, but it isn't too bad because I don't need to hear anything. It's just here for the looks. Anyway, Dreamcatcher was announced like second to last or something. At least they were announced very late. So I was so happy when they're announced, and getting to see them live almost had the same effect on me when I saw I-DLE live for the first time. That was so good. So good. Seeing all these girls that you followed for such a long time, always there for the comebacks, and you see them perform in a music video, root for them, and then you finally get to see them in front of you, was just everything. And there's a lot to talk about with Dreamcatcher as well. Obviously, they opened up the stage with Maison. The energy that they brought with Meza was, oh, I could just insert the whole clip of that. I could just, that was nuts. This video is probably really long by this point, but so who cares? But they had so much energy with that. I think right after Meza, they introduced themselves, which was nice. They got a lot of cheering, and I gotta say, the highlight and the person of the entire group who was just living for this moment, and you saw it, was Sua. Sua was jumping around, interacting with the fans a lot. Whenever she could, she was throwing out hearts and waves and everything. She was dancing around, and I think right after Meza, she was just standing like there like, how did you like it, guys? Wasn't I good? She's definitely, as you've seen her in various variety concepts, she is that fruity ball of energy that is just so lovable. So she's also that on stage, I can assure you guys. Another highlight for me, first of all, after Meza, they performed Because, which was also sick. I personally didn't film it because I at least wanted to get one performance for this group where I was just watching. I wanted to be in the moment and not film it. So I didn't film Because. Maybe I can still find clips, but the highlight was obviously for me the third song. They sadly didn't just perform 3 songs technically, because we're gonna get to another highlight in a bit. They performed Scream. Before the second day and them performing, I was like, I really, really, really hope they do Scream, because it's my favorite title tracks of theirs, and it just goes so hard. So it would be amazing to see that in an arena. But I didn't think they would actually do it. I was rather thinking like they would do something along the lines of I-DLE, which is much more recent, or Boca even, which was huge. But they did Scream. They did Scream, and here's the clip. So yeah, I couldn't. That song live had immense power. That the whole arena erupted, and also so many insomnias were there. I think at one point I looked over to the crowd, and you could just see all the freaking Dreamcatcher light sticks everywhere. There was one guy who actually who used the full potential of the light stick and made it stand out like meters above the crowd, which was crazy to actually see that. So yeah, that was just sick. That was just so incredibly freaking sick seeing them perform Scream. And they also performed all of their tracks, on the front stage where we were standing. So it was probably a little sad for the people in front of that little center stage, but oh my lord, I was happy for at least that. But yeah, the last highlight, especially for them, they also got to do a special stage, and they covered another song, which then was on the center stage in the back, so I couldn't get a good look at it, but I have a clip of it. They performed Kill This Love by Blackpink live at Kpop.FLEX. I think right after, I sat there in disbelief, being like, did they just really do that? Did they just perform one of the most iconic tracks in K-pop, or like from the biggest girl group right now in terms of like sheer numbers, maybe together with Twice? Did they just do that? Did they just perform Kill This Love by Dreamcatcher? That was so good. That was the next highlight of them. Sadly, their time was really short, even though they only got to perform one day. They didn't really get any time to do a variety concert. They introduced themselves briefly, which was cool, and talked a bit like them being to Germany and everything. So that was cool, but sadly their time was cut a little bit close. But it doesn't take away from the experience for me. So yeah, with that being said, only one group left to talk about, and it is obviously I-DLE. And me being a huge fan of I-DLE, them being my favorite group, and Ugi being my old bias, that was basically the thing that I was looking most forward to on this entire concert weekend. It was everything, honestly. It was everything. After 4 years of following these girls, almost 4 years, I followed them late 2018, not early 2018 when they debuted, but right after they released Han and the KDA collab. That's how I got to know them. So I was following them for almost 4 years now, or am still following them. Ugi being the love of my life for the longest time now, having obviously never seen her live, and then them just entering the stage, especially like with that entrance, that was magical. Honestly, that will always be one of my favorite moments of my life. It might sound stupid to some people who don't get it, but I can cross off my bucket list that I've seen my old bias live within a distance of like 15 meters, especially then on day 2. So for the songs that they performed, they were always obviously performing Tomboy, because they also had like a little dance tutorial kind of segment that was sadly only on screen, not on stage. That was played before their performance, and then they like neatly performed into that, where they were saying, okay, now that we show you the moves, perform with us, and they were already standing on stage ready to go, and then the song started playing and everyone lost their freaking marbles again, because the whole crowd loved obviously Tomboy and a lot of people were there. I had a lot of Nevis around me. There was two girls I remember, I think they were from China, right next to me. Shout out to that one girl. She had to most of the acts, especially IVE and I think I-DLE as well, like handwritten lyrics with the fan chants to them. Like, not printed out, handwritten. So that was definitely something, and she was always going along with the fan chants. So shout outs to her. But yeah, they were performing Tomboys both days. We got to see it in front of us both days. Then they introduced himself. Shout outs again to Sarah for filming a little I-DLE introduction fan cam of them.
Hey guys, we are I-DLE. 네, 저희가 첫 번째 곡으로 저희 신곡 톰보이를 들려드렸는데 어떠셨나요? 이렇게 많은 관중분들 앞에서 그런 게 오랜만이어서 저희도 매우 신나고 즐거운데요. 다들 즐거우셨나요? 그럼 저희가 여러분 가까이에서 저기 가볼게요. 갑시다.
No, that was actually after the second song. Their second song being Latata. Latata killed live. Latata, everyone screamed along to Latata. Me personally, I screamed my lungs out. When Soyeon has that part with every day, every night, and then she pointed that mic to the crowd and everyone just was screaming Latata. I put the clips at the end so you can watch it, and I just have to go through it right now. But after that, they said he always changed the stage, so they weren't changing it up on the second day as IVE and who else did it? There were some groups who changed it up to what songs they performed where. But on the second stage, they got to perform 2 more songs. They followed it up with Oh My God, and you're gonna see later in the clip the bass of Oh My God in the stadium was a different experience. My whole body was vibrating with that chorus bass. It was nuts, and you can even hear it on the video very well. I'm even gonna put that right here. And then they ended it both times with the song that I was hoping for them to do with all my love in my heart. I hope that they were gonna do it, and obviously they kind of had to do it because everyone is hyping this song right now as it's deserved to be. They did My Bag live both times. Sadly, both times on the backstage where I could only watch the performance from behind, but I got some shots of that. it was still incredible. Hearing and seeing Oogie performing my favorite bit of hers and all of the I-DLE discography live was just everything. And especially like this, they were working there. They were working. You can find so many clips on TikTok and Twitter where they were working the choreography of My Bag. These girls put everything into that. Coming to like the styling that they had, immaculate. Whoever was the stylist for the performance outfit, it was so cool. Also, I-DLE, after the first day on Saturday, right after the concert ended, they went live on V-Live. That was just such an I-DLE thing to do. They filmed Soyeon where she was getting rid of her makeup and everything. It was chaos, but I loved it. That was definitely a highlight of this entire thing. Seeing them, and especially Oogie live, was incredible. It was a one-of-a-lifetime experience. I hope that with them currently announcing world tour dates, and most of that being in America and Asia, and nothing in Europe so far, I can be really happy, and I guess I have that privilege to having to see them live, and it feels weird to complain for them to not come to Europe when they literally left, I think, today to fly back after they literally been to Europe. But I hope, and I would go definitely if they come back to Europe one day for I think it was called the Island tour that was cancelled due to COVID. They were originally going to Berlin, so maybe there's hope that they're gonna come to Berlin. If they're gonna come, I'll make sure I'll be there, because my love has been deepened once more seeing them live. Shua was also amazing. I have to talk about Shua for once a bit. Shua is such an incredible performer live. Like, you could think, you know that Shua is an energy ball, but Shua also she doesn't get many lines, which most of the people were tying to her not being that confident. But seeing her perform live, there is nothing but confidence in that girl. She killed and ate everything. And I also love that I think a huge part of the crowd was screaming especially loud for her during all of her parts. Maybe you can pick it up in the clips. It was just everything. So yeah, that was I-DLE group. I loved meeting you all. You were all so chill and cool to talk to. Made that whole experience definitely really special. Like I said who you are at the beginning. Luca, Kisei, Hannah, Ray, Sarah as well. You guys are awesome. And I met so many cool people at that concert as well, who I just briefly talked to. It was really cool. And definitely an experience of a lifetime. So yeah, that was Kpop.FLEX. And so there's nothing left to do, but this was originally a vlog. Can you guys remember how we started this whole thing out as a vlog? And then I forgot to vlog. So let's send it over to past Yumo to end this in kind of a vlog fashion.
Yo, thanks, future Yumo. I'm sure you're having a great time recording all the narration stuff and anything, but I kind of wanted to close out this vlog in a vlog-like manner. I'm at my car now, and I am back after, I don't know, traveling for, I don't know how long it's been since we broke out of the hotel, and then had a delay on our first train for like 50 minutes. Then ate something at the airport train station kind of thing, and then traveled for 4 more hours by train. And now I'm back home with a freaking awesome weekend behind me. I hope I captured some of the best moments for you guys, and I'm sure when I'm home I'll review all of that and put it together for a nice little montage and talk a bit over it and tell you guys what happened and such. But yeah, I just wanted to use this as kind of a closing clip. You guys seen it already, so it was great. Thanks for watching this vlog if you're watching until here. I really appreciate you, and have a good one. See you in the next video. Bye bye.